Hey guys, so it is evening time out here, about 5 o'clock. Rain has stopped, Kingman, Arizona, and tonight is Saturday, October 13th. And I wanted to talk with you guys if I could for a moment. I guess I have really three different stories or things that just triggered me today. Nothing groundbreaking. So one is about literally the end of the walking. Another is about kind of maybe a missed opportunity, and the third is just kind of one of those reminiscent moments and how beautiful music is and inspires. Maybe I'll share a story with you. But what I'd like to do is have you guys maybe share some stories with me, if possible. I'm still on East Coast time, I think, mentally, and I think I'm trying to keep it that way because I know when I get home I don't want to be having any kind of, I don't know. Anyway, so my point is I'm usually up bright and early, so if you guys can share some stories, some music with me, I'd love it. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But, so first let me address the end. I got a call a few minutes ago from a gentleman that I met back in Ohio, back in Ontario, Ohio, and just a really cool guy. In fact, when he introduced me, if you guys have followed me since then, he was the coolest mother effer in the country, and I don't know if anyone's given him a run for his money. I think Papa Joe may have given him a run for his money, but Jesse's still right there. Anyway, Jesse lives in Northern California now, but he just called me and like, man, I've been living with my cousin and working with him, and man, all I do is talk about you, and I've been through a whole lot since I've been out here. My hair is just a wreck today, but anyway, I've been through a whole lot since I've been out here, and we follow you, and man, I'm going to be there at the very end of the journey. Just tell me where and when. So I told him. I also told him, as I've shared with you guys, I'm going to have this little beacon on me that last week and a half, that you guys can follow me on a cell phone or a website. I think he's kind of trying to go off the grid, he said, for his own reasons. I'll leave that alone for him to talk if he wants to share that with you guys. Anyway, it's great. That's one of the things that's kind of really been neat about this journey is I got somebody I've been talking to, like Brian back in Phoenix, who is reaching out to me and chatting with me and being a friend. I met him 2 days ago. And then I got Jesse, who I met 10 weeks ago, and just met him on a journey for, I don't know, less than 12 hours, and the connections we're making. So what I wanted to talk about is he said he's planning on being at the end, and I don't doubt him. And I know a few folks have reached out to me and have asked about meeting me at the end, and being there. And I think it'd be amazing. I know it's a big trip, and I'm not asking anybody to be. And I know maybe some of you won't even surprise me, but what I'll ask you is if you're going to be there, listen, I'm going to only be walking about 3 miles, about an hour down from the hotel. And, I'd love to kind of walk into some folks wearing yellow shirts. So if you're going to be there, I think my neighbor, Miss Pat, said she'd mail some out there if I needed to. Let me know you're going to be there. Maybe it's a surprise you don't want that, but I thought it'd be cool to spot out as I'm walking, a half a mile away to see these, and I think you can see these from the space station up above. That's the rumor. In fact, the funny thing was I was at the Grand Canyon yesterday with Susan, and she was wearing a yellow shirt. I was wearing a yellow shirt, and her dad, pretty funnily, is that a word? No. Anyway, he sent a picture of like a satellite shot. I guess there's 2 yellow blips in the Grand Canyon. He's like, look, we can even see you guys from up there. So anyway, if you have any intention of being down at the finish line at the Santa Monica Pier on Friday, October 26th, around, I'm going to guess around 10:30 Pacific time will be kind of my guess. Let me know what shirt size, and maybe I can get some shirts not ordered, I have some, and sent out there, and get them to you guys, and find a way to get them down here in the morning. But that'd be kind of neat. So for those of you that have even considered it, I know a lot of you have considered it. I know a lot of you have tried to make it happen, and whether it be family, time, commitments, money, look, believe me, I'm so flattered that folks, I know Jennifer wanted to be there, I know Chris Erno wanted to be there, I know Scott Redding still may or may not be there, I haven't figured it out. I think he's waiting for me to say, hey, come on out, and I'm not want to spend anybody else's money, not in that regard anyway. So I know Jamie will be out there. I know some people talked about getting my kids out there, but they're best home. Frankly, it's a long trip. I'm sure I'm missing folks. I think my friend Steve Mock wanted to be out there. My friend Steve Rizzo talked about being out there. But everybody's going through a lot of stuff, whatever it may be. So just a simple thought is incredibly, incredibly flattering to me. So, but if you are planning on being out there, let me know, and let me try to get some shirts. But let me know soon, because it takes some while to get these together and shipped out to you. So that's that portion of tonight. Second thing I want to talk about before I get into maybe the most serious topic is, again, I talk about music all along the way, and this is really to the kids out there. Guys, make mentally remember where you are when you hear songs. And if you can tell, I just kind of showered not long ago, trying to run out to get something to eat. I didn't sleep much last night, and kind of took a midday nap in the rain. Got up and showered, and I always play music when I'm in the shower. I have a mix on my phone here. I probably have 1,000 songs. Well, the first song that I put on as I'm brushing my teeth is a song, Play That Funky Music. And immediately, brings me back. This is over 30 years now. So when I was 20, I wasn't 21 yet, because part of the story is I couldn't get into the bar, but I played ball with a bunch of guys, and one of the older guys on our team, Joe Pantaleo, had a timeshare in the Poconos. We lived on Long Island, New York at the time. And he's like, yeah, guys, if you wanna take it for the week, I'll rent it out to you. So me and Steve Rizzo, the navigator, and Louie and Vito, 4 of us, rented the thing out for a week, and definitely have some stories I can share with you. I think I have a couple stories I probably shouldn't share with you. But one of the ones that I'll share with you real quick was pretty funny. There was a day, we were there a couple of days. So what happened was, the night before, I wasn't 21 years old yet, and the Poconos is not far. And I guess East Stroudsburg is a town near the Poconos, or in the Poconos. And we were all like, hey, let's go out for the night, go have a few beers. So we all go into a town in East Stroudsburg, and I'm only 20 at the time. And I never was one of those guys that had fake ID and could, get proof and everything like that. Anyway, essentially I couldn't get into the bar. So instead of ruining the guys' fun, and they were willing, like, hey, let's just get out of here. So no, you guys hang out and stick and have a good time. Don't worry about it. I'll just head back to the condo. There's plenty to do. I can chill, listen to some music, even back then. And so I went back to the condo, and that was one of the more amazing nights of that particular vacation. I'll leave it at that. But the next day, I remember a few things. One of the fellas had to go back to get certification, like a lifeguard certification for their summer job or something like that, and they had to take some certification. So the 2 of them drove back from the Poconos back to Long Island. In the meantime, kind of being lonely and bored in the condo the night before, I called up a girlfriend of mine and said, hey, you know what, it's going to be a boys' weekend, but I'm just kind of chilling out. If you want to come out for a night, I'm sure nobody's going to mind. So I made plans with her where she was going to go to Penn Station. I was going to drive back to Penn Station, grab her, and take her back to the Poconos. So I did. So we all left. Well, Louie and Vito left early in the morning and did their thing. And then late morning, midday, I left. And I remember coming back, had to be about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, maybe 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And there's Steve, who was the navigator of this journey, sitting at the desk, and in front of him in the coffee table is a pile of beer cans in a pyramid that had to be 15 or 18 deep by like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, what have you been doing? And he just puts his hand out, and here, this is what I've been doing. So, but it's amazing, guys, literally how the first 2 chords of a song, and boom, I'm right back there 30 years ago, reliving a memory with these guys and these friends. So I hope you all have memories like that. I'm sure you do. And again, that's the kind of thing I'm hoping you'll reach out tonight. Share a story with me. Share a story with the Journey site. Go on and post something and tell us a little bit about a vacation you took or a trip you took. Not necessarily with the family and the kids, and it could be, but tell us that one time that, hey, you know what? I remember it was 1958 or 2008, 1977, 1994, it doesn't matter. Share a story. Let us have some fun tonight. I would love to go grab some food at a mini mart and come back and sit down and have 100 different little small Texan and retails. So you guys sit down on a Saturday night. It's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. have a beer, have a cocktail, have a glass of wine, have a water, doesn't matter, and just kind of tell me a story about, hey, when you guys were young and innocent, and a trip you took or a vacation you took with the friends or something like that. That'd be really cool for me. So it would help me get me through the night, because I don't sleep these Pacific Coast hours here. And then that leads me to the third thing last night, which has been bothering me, and maybe one of the reasons I didn't sleep so much last night, or even today. And not the biggest reason, but a reason. So one of the things I found on this journey for me is that I've been able to sleep better than I did back home. And one of the reasons is to sleep, your mind has to be at rest. And I'm one of these ones that my mind is always going. If you haven't noticed that at all by my videos, I often get laughed at because I'll be in the middle of something and boom, there goes a train, and I start talking about that and come right back to the story. And then from one story I lead to three more. Anyway, last night I made it into town, and I was hungry, tired, and I stopped to get something to eat. And I don't know the situation, and I don't know what I was thinking at the moment. I do know what I was thinking at the moment. Anyway, I stopped into this diner that's not far from here. I don't know how far, but not far. And there was a woman there, and she had what I'm assuming is a son, but a young man that had some infirmities and was in a wheelchair, and then had another young lady that had, I think I overheard her say she'd had 18 foot surgeries or something like that, but they didn't speak to me, I didn't speak to them. In a restaurant you kind of overhear things, and she had come to, from what I can gather, a dude ranch for people with disabilities, to help these kids or adults and give them a weekend. And from what I could tell, they flew in from Las Vegas, and sorry, I had a toothpaste spit there. So there I go again. Anyway, so I got to speed this up. So the bottom line is, from what I could gather just from kind of their conversation with the cashier and where I was sitting, that they went to the dude ranch the day before, they tried to ride some horses, they got on the horses, and they went back the next morning. The dude ranch essentially said, hey, you know what, we don't have anybody that could really accommodate, we don't have the facilities to accommodate your daughter, and look, we're willing to give you, and maybe they weren't even saying that, we're not going to be able to accommodate her. So this woman was a little bit upset. Certainly she had planned a vacation around giving these kids and these adults something that they might not ever experience. In addition, now you're telling her you can't accommodate her when you talk about accommodating everybody. And lastly, what the F is she supposed to do at that point? She flew out here from Vegas, so she was going to stay at the overnight. And I'm not sure all the details, as I said. I just know that she was concerned, money was tight. They planned this trip from Vegas. The flight doesn't leave until tomorrow, so they needed 2 nights of stay or rest. And I guess the point, as I got to wrap this up, is that certainly life threw a curveball at her and the kids, and certainly she was upset. And I think, from what I could gather, the dude ranch eventually, after some animated conversation, agreed to refund her money. But that takes a delay. So if you struggle with money, you only have X amount of dollars, and it's tied up in a card, how is she, going to get the money to stay these next couple nights? She had a lot of concern on her. But here's where I dropped the ball. I heard her, and I didn't know how to help in terms of money, because I didn't have a lot to offer her. But I should have stepped up, and I should have asked her. I should have talked to her. I should have at least given her somebody to listen to. And I don't know what I could have done. Maybe I could have come on here and appealed to my followers to say, hey, is there anybody that might want to help this person? But it was one of those things that they were on their way out the door. It was a split second, and I didn't act. And that's the message I want to share with you guys. I didn't act, and all day and all night, it's been bothering me. I'm sure life will take care of them. It just always seems to be the one thing I found this journey is humanity will reach out. But I kicked myself in the ass because I didn't do a thing. If I couldn't offer money, I could have offered an ear. I could have appealed to you guys, and I could have cared. And that's kind of where I'm at with this. I got to wrap up in 10 seconds. As I've taken videos in Tulsa, people walking by strangers, don't let a chance go by. You might not have to give out money. You might not have to give out a home. Just ask and listen. Just ask. I love you guys. Take care. I regret it. Please don't do that same thing.